Welcome to What's Your Edge, a series of Vision Edge marketing podcasts dedicated to helping you use data, analytics, process, and measurement to create a competitive edge and a superior experience for your customers. I'm your host, Laura Patterson, President of Vision Edge Marketing. Today, I'm especially excited to have Rebecca Woan as my guest. Rebecca is the owner and founder of Chartwell Insurance Services, a boutique property and casualty insurance provider that successfully competes with the big guys because the firm has a relevant and compelling value proposition. Rebecca and her team recognize the importance of making customers feel valued and finding value, and that's our topic today. Rebecca, congratulations on building a customer-centric organization. I know our community is eager to hear what you and your team do better and differently to deliver value to your customers.
Thanks so much for having me, Laura. I have to say what we do is anything but radical. We take care of people. We had a retail brokerage that specialized in a very different end of the business, and I had a number of prospects in what we call the high net worth or the successful individual space, and I found markets and serviced them to really pretty effusive praise. I thought to myself, I'm just taking care of people. Then I asked myself why their brokers weren't taking care of them. And then I had the light bulb moment that there was perhaps a business opportunity in being responsive and educating clients. This was the recipe for our growth, along with a team of people who care as much about clients as I do. Honestly, there's no substitute for hiring good people.
I agree. It's all about the people that we work with, the customers that we work with, the suppliers that we have. It always comes down to people. Let's jump right in. I love this topic because we truly believe that a compelling, meaningful, relevant value proposition is at the heart of finding, keeping, and growing the value of customers. It's what enables companies to gain market share and charge a premium price. I know you operate in an extremely competitive industry. I don't know if you might remember, but I started my career many decades ago in the financial services insurance industry, a little company you may have heard of, State Farm. I did a little research to learn about where things are going in the industry today, and I found out there's over 4,000 property and casualty insurance companies in the U.S., but that the top 25 have nearly 79% of the market share, and that the average churn rate for the industry is 16 out of every 100 policy holders. So, Rebecca, what is your value proposition, and how has it enabled you to retain and create loyal customers?
Insurance, especially in America, is often sold on price in the consumer sector. We've all seen those name your price commercials and the you've been paying too much commercials. We work with clients who recognize value over price and see insurance not as an unavoidable and unwanted expense, but as an important means to protect their real and personal possessions and help guard against assaults on their assets through liability lawsuits from aggressive third parties. They want to be placed with insurers who have a reputation for fair and generous claim settlement. Not everybody is fortunate enough to make that choice, and that's the market we operate in.
I understand, and you're right. Not everyone is fortunate enough to make that choice. And I've heard you say that the most recent interaction is the interaction the customer remembers. We love Jan Carlson of Scandinavian Airlines book, Moments of Truth. And he defined a moment of truth as any interaction with a customer or any event in which a customer uses or experiences a company's product. A moment of truth has a huge impact on customer satisfaction, retention, and advocacy. Employees are the keepers of the moments of truth. What have you done differently to empower your employees to deliver exceptional customer interactions?
That is so true. You can only empower employees, however, once you know they're well-trained. It's so important to have mentorship and make employees part of the conversation so they can learn by hearing and observing. We believe there's no substitute to in-person training, and we share experiences and how we solve problems so we can be collaborative and offer a team approach to service. It doesn't serve a customer well if one person knows about their program and they're sick or they're not available. So having well-documented files makes it easy for someone to pick up. This requires constant reinforcement. and more than once, I have one of my team members reminding me that I need to be doing a better job. No one is perfect, and the converse is also true. So we all have to own our mistakes. I also firmly believe that customers cannot be fooled, and they appreciate an apology and a fix more than a cover up, and which is something that'll just only get worse over time.
I agree. Some things can go wrong. You just need to own up to them and work together to figure out how to fix them and hopefully be able to move forward. The idea that customer experience is essential for long-term growth is not new. For a decade, Gartner has been saying companies will compete primarily on the customer experiences they deliver. Even so, many companies still struggle to map the customer journey and eliminate what we call breakpoints. Earlier, you said that the challenge is to consistently make customers feel valued and find value in the product. Process is an integral part of creating customer value. What kind of processes have you implemented to engage customers and deliver a superior customer experience?
I remind my team we can't assume that our customers understand all the nuances and all the insurance lingo. So we need to clarify in all of our communications. We start off with what we call a welcome call to let clients know what to do in case of an emergency, to call us first, and letting them know that we have an emergency 24-hour service. We're very proud also of our collateral materials. They're clean and easy to read, and that's what we use for proposals and reviews. We also follow up all conversations with emails to memorialize. In my opinion, you can never over communicate.
I agree. You can never over communicate. And we do something similar, even though we're not in a business like you're in, where things can happen, at bizarre times and people might need to reach you in the middle of the night on a Sunday morning. But that was kind of an interesting thing, middle of the night on a Sunday morning, but that it happens to people. But even in our business, we believe in strongly onboarding and communicating with our customers just making sure we're all on the same page and how the process is going to work and what the rules of engagement are, all the same things that you're probably doing in that welcome call. So people might not connect innovation with insurance, yet you talk about the need to think outside the box and to innovate as a critical factor for competing. What kind of innovations have you developed and how have they enabled you to outmaneuver the competition?
I'm not sure that we've outmaneuvered the competition. We have looked at how AI can improve our communication and education, and I believe this is going to be a critical differentiator going forward. I'm delighted to now be part of a large organization. You know that we sold to Epic, and they have a large national footprint, and they also have the resources for the budget that this really needs. I do feel in the short term there's going to be an advantage for larger brokerages who have the resources to implement these AI strategies.
Can't get through a conversation these days without without a conversation about AI. It's a pervasive topic. And I know from our time together that we both believe that AI is a tool. It helps us implement, but in the end, it still comes down to people because two of the many things that we have in common is our passion for customer centricity and strategy. And we believe that a good strategy that is customer centric and well executed has the ability to positively impact a company and a market's competitive position. What kind of customer-centric strategies have you employed, and which ones have been the most successful and why?
I agree with you. AI is important, but AI is not going to replace people. It's going to enhance people. We're in the service business, and I don't think we could be anything but customer centric. We have people who communicate. We make phone calls to deliver difficult news. This is what we call a hard insurance market. We've got a lot of difficult news these days. We also like to meet our customers at their comfort level. Some want a lot of automation. Others want more interaction, and we'll make file notes about issues that are specific to these clients or the best way to approach them. Or maybe one spouse prefers to delegate to another, or for some, it's important to include both on the interaction.
I agree. It's important to understand what is the best way to engage with each individual customer. It's not a cookie cutter. And crafting a customer centric strategy takes solid data about who your customers are and which ones are a good fit. And I imagine in your industry, it's essential to be able to home in on the right segments and personas. Rebecca, what kind of data does your firm use, and how do you use it to find, keep, and grow the value of customers? And how do you use the data to distinguish between an ideal customer and one that isn't?
We haven't been that granular with data. We track retention, we track success with prospects, and we track data about how pricing changes from quarter to quarter. There's probably a metric out there. What we look at instead are patterns and conversational responses in a prospect call to determine whether or not there's a good fit before we complete a very labor-intensive proposal process. The goal for us is to have a very high win percentage for proposals delivered.
Win rate. That's a very important metric and one that we highly recommend every company in any industry consider employing. And as we wrap up, I would like to return to the start of our conversation about creating a customer-centric value proposition. Customer-centric companies, they build value props that offer a unique promise of value to their customers and that articulate the benefits and solutions customers can expect. And one of the key things we help our customers do is shift from value proposition construction to value proposition measurement. Measurement helps ensure a value prop remains strong and relevant and capable of sustaining the vital connection between your business and its customers. And we recommend selecting measures that measure that kind of a connection. Measures like customer lifetime value and customer effort and customer retention rate. And there are many others. I'm curious to know what customer-centric measures you track, report, and why.
We look at account size because we need to be compensated for the cost of servicing. If the account is too small, we have to make the difficult decision to politely decline the business. Also, once in a while, we have to tell a client that we cannot make them happy. And that's our equivalent of the Dear John conversation. Sometimes we recognize that our approach isn't a good fit for somebody who might not understand and appreciate our expertise or who has an unrealistic expectation of what we should be delivering.
That makes sense. We're fortunate that, and I know you were fortunate too, to be blessed with wonderful customers, and it makes a big difference when you can work with customers who are an ideal fit. Rebecca, you've been at the helm of Chartwell for more than 2 decades. I imagine that there have been a lot of ups and downs. As we wrap up, what is some parting advice and lessons learned that might help our community outsmart their competitors?
You need to focus on what you do best. I once heard a presentation about ideas, and that stayed with me. They said there are very few unique ideas, and chances are there's someone else trying to do something very similar. Success is going to come from the person who executes best. Small businesses can't afford to make a lot of mistakes. They need to figure out where their profit margin is largest and which products or services are scalable. If they can't do this, or if the field is too crowded, or if the product is becoming obsolete, like the typewriter, for example, they need to pivot.
Yes, all really valuable points, especially about pivoting and really understanding what products and services are generating both value for your customers and value for your business. It's an excellent reminder for all of us that to successfully compete and grow, we must focus and execute on what we do best. And that it's important to know when to pivot. I really appreciate it, Rebecca, that you have been our guest today. Thank you. And thank you for sharing your insights and experiences with our community.
Thanks so much, Laura.
We hope you found this episode of What's Your Edge helpful. What's Your Edge is the creation of Vision Edge Marketing. Since 1999, Vision Edge Marketing has been helping our customers solve the most difficult challenges in using data, analytics, process, and measurement to accelerate growth, create customer value, and improve performance. We always welcome hearing from you.